Just when we thought there couldn't be any more hyped up sneaker releases in 2021, Virgil comes along and drops an entire Louis Vuitton Nike collab on us. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and this is the hypiest episode of Weekly Heat ever. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell down below if you want to see more sneaker related content just like this. And also make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at @RealSethFowler. Also, while we're at it with the shameless self-promotion, if you guys want to check out my tech channel, I've actually been dropping a lot of videos over there, so I've made sure to leave a link to that in the description below. We're actually like 20,000 subs away from 100,000 subscribers. I'm so excited to reach that milestone. I can't wait. So if you guys want to subscribe over there, it'd mean a lot to me. Oh, one more thing. If you guys missed out on my very first official signature sneaker that I designed with We Are Underdogs, the We Are Underdogs Seth Fowler Origin, we're actually restocking it. So this is it right here. This is a DS pair of my very first signature shoe. I actually designed a shoe before this. It was the Planters Peanut shoe. We don't really count that one as a signature shoe because it wasn't really a signature shoe, at least not for me, more for Mr. Peanut. But this is my first signature shoe. This shoe released, I believe, in April of last year. And since then, we've actually released 3 other colorways of this shoe and a brand new silhouette. So if you guys would like to grab the restock of this shoe or even pre-order the brand new silhouette, I've made sure to leave links to those in the description below. Although We Are Underdogs is relatively unknown when it comes to sneaker brands, I've got to vouch for their quality. They make incredible quality sneakers. They're all handmade in Portugal, and I believe most of the materials used in this shoe are sourced from within 5 miles of the factory. Also, I can't thank them enough for just supporting me and allowing me to create multiple sneakers with them. It's been a dream come true, and I now can say I've designed 6 different sneakers, which is kind of crazy. But now let's dive into other people's sneaker designs and start off Weekly Heat. So just so you guys know how crazy hyped of an episode this is, the first story, which is usually the smallest story of the entire episode, is about a pair of Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 lows. So if that's any indicator of how ridiculous this episode's gonna be, there you go. So most likely you already know about the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1s that are dropping on July 29th. Well, it looks like if you miss out on a pair of those, which I'm expecting myself and pretty much everyone to miss out on, Travis, Fragment, and Jordan Brand are gonna be giving us a whole nother pair of these sneakers in the form of the low tops. And the craziest part is that they're apparently going to release like 2 weeks later. So the hype is going to be going for like 2 whole months. It's going to be ridiculous. Now, this might be a controversial opinion. It shouldn't be, though. I think the color blocking on the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 lows is better than the color blocking on the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 highs. And the reason for that is because the lows have sort of a black toe style to them, or more of like a Fragment Air Jordan 1 look to them. The eye stays on the high top just don't make the sneaker look right. Like, we haven't seen any colorways of this shoe that really look like that. And to be fair, it is based off an original colorway which just never released, but I gotta say, I really prefer the color blocking of the low top version. Now, to be fair, the sort of tan or off-white colored backwards Nike swoosh might not be for everybody, but when you pair it with the rest of the sneaker, I think the overall colorway of this shoe is just better. And while most likely this low top version of the shoe won't be as popular as the high top version because of the fact that it's a low top, it's still going to be an insanely hyped sneaker, and it's still going to easily sell out in seconds. Now, obviously, I would love a pair of these, not just because it's an awesome collaboration, but also because I really like the colorway of this shoe. The chances of me actually grabbing a pair of these are pretty much next to nothing unless I'm willing to pay resale. And as of right now, we don't really know what the resale is going to sort of settle out to be. I'm expecting it to be between $1,600 and $2,000, or it could be more because it's such a huge collaboration. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's one of those shoes that's going to be very, very difficult to get. Oh, that's right. The thing that I actually needed to tell you guys was the release date for the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 lows. And the release date for these shoes is apparently August 13th. So set your calendars for August 13th. I've already done it, and I've set it as L Day because that's essentially what's going to happen to me. But hey, if you guys are excited about this shoe, let me know in the comment section down below. After that, it looks like we have some actual pictures of the upcoming Off-White Air Jordan 2 low. So I've got to give a huge shout out to Z Sneakerheads for getting his rendering pretty much exactly spot on. This image looks just like the shoe that he rendered. I mean, down to the midsole cracking and the Michael Jordan signature. The shoe looks identical, which in a lot of ways is a good thing, and in some other ways is kind of a bad thing, because I think that cracked midsole is dumb. Okay, let me rephrase that. I think the idea or the concept behind it, I think Virgil's idea behind it was cool. However, I'm not excited about the fact that we're going to get a bunch of copycats dropping cracked midsoles for the next 2 years, which sucks. Now based on this image, it looks like the cracked midsole is held together by some sort of clear resin, which gives the shoe the effect of looking like it's falling apart without actually falling apart and still giving you a full midsole. I'm not sure exactly how this midsole is going to feel underfoot or really how long it's going to last, because it is a completely different midsole than anything we've really seen before from Nike. And so in that way, I am very excited about seeing this shoe just to see how they constructed it. Colorway is fine. It's a great colorway on the Air Jordan 2. The Michael Jordan signature is an interesting choice. I mean, it's supposed to look like a game-worn pair of sneakers, I guess. But in that way, it's like, okay, is this more Michael Jordan memorabilia or is this an Off-White collaboration? I just don't really get it. At the same time, I don't really get a lot of what Virgil does, but I'm still a huge fan of Virgil, so I'll be like every other hypebeast and just take it. Of course, just like pretty much every other Off-White, Nike, or Air Jordan collaboration, you have an exposed foam ankle collar, as well as some age details on the plastic hits. I've got to say, I'm not the biggest fan of the Air Jordan 2 in general, but overall, this is not a bad looking collaboration, and I'll probably be trying to pick up a pair to give you guys a full review. And if you missed the last Weekly Heat video, this shoe is apparently supposed to release on September 23rd or 9/23. Oh, and not only that, this shoe is also apparently dropping in a black and blue colorway. Now right off the bat, I've got to say this colorway is not going to be anywhere near as popular as the white and red colorway. It just isn't. It's not that great of a colorway. It's not as popular as just a standard Chicago or Bulls colorway. This Off-White Air Jordan 2 Low comes in a black leather upper with blue accents around the heel and on the midsole of the sneaker. In addition to that, it features a gray and blue outsole, some reddish laces, and a yellow zip tie. And actually, I'm just noticing now it also apparently features Michael Jordan's signature, but in either a gloss black or a reflective material. I can't really tell based on these images. Now, although there's no official release date for the black Off-White Air Jordan 2s just yet, the shoe is expected to release alongside the white pair on September 23rd. So in kind of weird news, Kanye West is officially suing Walmart. And you might be saying, what? Why? Well, apparently Walmart is selling versions of his foam runner sneakers for $25 that are not actually authentic. And I mean, to be fair, it was just a matter of time before people started selling fake foam runners. In fact, I think there was fake foam runners out before the shoes were even out, and they looked pretty much identical. And although they probably didn't use the same sort of like algae-based foam that the first foam runners used, they're still probably a pretty similar shoe. Oh, and the fake pairs sell for about $25, whereas the actual foam runners retail for between $75 to $80. Well, okay, I guess retail doesn't really count because the shoes always sell out and then resell for around $300 to $400. So to be fair, you are saving a lot of money. However, you're buying an inauthentic product, which I'm not backing at all, and I say stay away. Now, although Kanye West is suing Walmart, Walmart is saying that they're not actually the ones selling these products. And if you know Walmart's website at all, you know that Walmart has actually opened itself up and allowed third-party sellers to sell through their website. So if you take a look at these products, you'll realize that these shoes aren't actually being sold through Walmart at all. They're actually being sold by some brand out of China. But where this gets interesting is that in Kanye West's complaint against Walmart, he actually asked them to take the shoes off their website. But even though it's not their shoes, they still haven't taken them off, even though they're probably not making that much money off these sneakers in the first place. So I'm not sure if they're just doing that because of principle or what the deal is, but it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this situation in the comment section down below. So let me know whether you think Walmart is right or Kanye is right, or, you know, whatever you want to talk about. I don't really care. Just drop a comment down below. So increasing the hype meter on the next story, it looks like Travis Scott and Dior could be working on a collaboration. I know, it's getting ridiculous at this point. So recently, Travis Scott was seen in a brown Dior jacket and a white Dior shirt. And while that doesn't sound too crazy or too out there, what makes this story interesting is the fact that it looks like Travis Scott's logo is actually incorporated into the Dior logo on both of these two pieces. Not only that, no one's really ever seen these pieces before. These are brand new pieces that don't seem to be available to buy yet. So that leads most of us to believe that Travis Scott and Dior are working on an apparel collaboration, which really wouldn't surprise me, and honestly, it actually looks kind of dope. I'm not like a huge Dior fan. I like Travis's music, and of course I like his sneakers, but I'm not like a huge Travis stan. But I do have to say that that meshing of the two logos actually looks really, really sick. And as someone who's working on a brand that is currently working on a new logo, I'm really into logo design, and I think that's a really cool look. Speaking of the brand that I'm working on that's working on a new logo, we've got some new Apothecary socks dropping. So no, this is not our new logo. This is just a script version of our old logo, and I've got to say it looks really fire on these socks. So today on June 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we're actually dropping all 4 of these colorways on apothecary.com. So the colorways include a blue and black, a yellow and black, a white and black, and a gray and white. And like I said, I think this script logo is fire, and I really dig all of these colorways. If I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably go with the white and black or or the blue and black. I think they both pop really nicely. But if you guys would like to grab any of these 4 colorways or all 4 of these colorways, make sure to click the link to apothecary.com down below. And again, they drop at 11 a.m. Eastern time today on June 25th. And then the final story that we're going to cover in today's video is this crazy Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force 1 collaboration that just kind of popped out of nowhere. So apparently Virgil Abloh isn't just collaborating with Nike on the 50, which is 50 different pairs of off-white Nike Dunk Lows, or even the 2 pairs of off-white Air Jordan 2s that we just talked about. He's also collaborating with Nike on a bunch of different Louis Vuitton Air Force 1s. And like I said, this collab came out of nowhere. It was shown off at Paris Fashion Week. The models walked out in these shoes, and I don't think anyone expected this. I certainly didn't. So I guess the best way to describe this collaboration are Louis Vuitton Air Force 1s with some heavy off-white inspiration, which totally makes sense because Virgil Abloh is the head of Off-White and also the head of Louis Vuitton's design division, or men's design division. I'm not sure exactly what his title is, but he's high up at the company. And I've got to say, if you thought some of his Off-White Nikes were wild, some of these Louis Vuitton shoes are wild. I mean, the colors that he uses, the materials, the layering, it all is very, very loud. And I've heard some people online call them, well, really glorified fakes because they look like a lot of the fakes that have been coming out over the last couple of years. Now, to be fair, the quality of this collaboration, I'm sure, is off the charts. I mean, Louis Vuitton is a super high-end fashion brand, so the materials that they're using are probably A1. And to be fair, the prices of these shoes are probably going to be very expensive. But I've got to say, style-wise, I don't love all of it. That said, there are definitely some shoes in this collab that I like some of the more plain white and yellow or white and red looks, but the almost Air Jordan 1 LV looking Air Force 1 is not exactly my thing. That's probably the one that people thought looked the most fake because there's been a lot of fakes that look like that or a lot of customs that look like that. Customs and fakes are 2 different things. I'm not going to get into that discussion, but there's been a lot of both that look a lot like this sneaker. But where this collab loses me are like the super shiny plastic shoes or the brown and darker brown check with like the weird patches all over it. I mean, it's very Louis Vuitton. I understand the inspiration, I understand the branding, but it's not something I'd really rock. But let me really quickly run through all the styles in the collection and just give you guys my thoughts. The first style is obviously the shiny black and blue one with the gold Nike swoosh. Not my thing, personally, but maybe you like that sort of like iridescent monogram bag that they put out a little while back. Looks a lot like that. It also features the off-white tag on the back of the Nike swoosh. There's a lot of overlap here, like a lot more than I expected. The next one is a shoe that I actually really like, which is the yellow and white version. It comes with what seems like a yellow canvas with the Louis Vuitton monogram all over it. It's got the Louis Vuitton details pressed into the leather. And then, of course, your green accent on the back of the Nike swoosh, the air text printed onto the midsole, and a lace that says lacette instead of laces, so they're changing something up, I guess. Next, we've got the white and red version, which looks very similar to the yellow and white version. It's got the same branding, the same materials, and of course that little weird green accent on the back of the Nike swoosh. The Nike swoosh is also still stitched, like the Off-White collaboration, so it's a very, very similar shoe. After that, we've got the wildest one, or at least in my opinion, the wildest one, and that is the LV check brown and tan shoe that looks a lot like an Air Jordan 1. I think this honestly might be the most popular shoe out of the collection because of the hype that this shoe, I'm sure, will bring, and because of all the crazy customs that people have done over the years that people have just been obsessed with. This shoe is truly like the hypiest hype shoe I think I've ever seen. This is like a 3-way collab between Off-White, Louis Vuitton, and Nike. It's the same thing that Travis Scott's doing with Fragment and Nike at the moment, and while I don't love it, I get the appeal. Okay, then after that, we've got the shoe that I was talking about a little while earlier. It's the brown on brown check. You've got the weird sort of purple goblin guy. I don't know where that's from. Oh, it's the Grim Reaper with a green face. All right, okay. Interesting. I don't know. The more that I look at it, the more that I don't dislike it. I still don't love it. I wish they had used a different like icon. I'm not a huge fan of the Grim Reaper on my sneakers. Nothing against it. I just don't really like the Grim Reaper iconography that they used. Then after that, they've got a white and purple shoe, which again is very similar to the yellow and red versions. However, the midsole, or I guess the outsole on the shoe, looks to be more of a blue, whereas the purple on the upper is a different shade completely. So I'm not sure exactly why they decided to change the color on the outsole when they kept it the same on the yellow and red versions. And then below that one, we've got the white and black version, which seems to come in an all leather upper rather than canvas. It's all pressed with the monogram. It's got a mirrored Nike swoosh on the side and a fully black midsole. It says Air on the side in white. pretty standard, I guess, as far as off-white sneakers, or I guess, well, off-white, Louis Vuitton, I don't know. This is just like messing with my head a lot. It's fine. And then the last shoe is the one that I think I like the least, and that's this mirrored toe Air Force One low with a black midfoot panel and a yellow heel panel. This is a weird shoe. I think if any of them didn't sell out, which I think all of them will, this would be the one to not, because I think it's the ugliest by far. The top one's giving it like a run for its money, but the bottom one is like the worst for sure. But that's pretty much it. That is all the sneakers that they revealed during Paris Fashion Week, or this Paris fashion event. Not sure if it was actually Fashion Week or not. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of these sneakers and whether you're going to be trying to grab any of these shoes. I can almost guarantee that, like the Dior collaboration, these shoes will retail for probably upwards of $500 to $1,000, and I'm sure resell for even more, because that's just what happens when things are this hyped. But that pretty much wraps up Weekly Heat for this week. I would love to know your thoughts on everything that we talked about in today's video, so make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Once again, if you want to grab any socks from the upcoming Apothecary drop, I've left links to that in the description below as well as the We Are Underdogs Origin drop. I've got a lot of stuff to plug today, so again, description below. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.